Scandals are common in big money, rules and rule books. It's easy to get lost in the rule game of bending and breaking total technological growth. Part of the game is how far rule bending is encouraged to maximize performance, probably the largest sports scandal ever. What are your thoughts on the biggest scandals and bombshells against F1 and FIA? Don't go anywhere if the same questions are popping into your mind. In today's video, we will talk about all those concerns. Let's first talk about the recent April this year. It wasn't clear who would win the 2008 World Drivers' Championship. The 2008 season is notable for a few things. Winning of his Lewis Hamilton's first driver's title, it was the last time Ferrari won a title. Nelson Piquet crashed out of the Singapore Grand Prix. At the time, it seemed like an accident, but it turned out he did it on purpose, starting one of Formula One's biggest scandals. Don't worry, we'll totally dig into the whats and whys of that later. In the meantime, behind-the-scenes information from Renault team members at the race revealed the surprising truth about why it happened. In April of this year, Felipe Massa, who lost the title to Lewis Hamilton by 1 point, decided he wanted the title he thought was stolen from him back. After Bernie Ecclestone's revelations about the 2008 World Championship, he vowed to study everything. Massa complained when the truth about Piquet Jr.'s crash came out, but Renault's crimes were not fully revealed until a year later. The FIA stated that nothing could be changed due to a rule that said, once the prize-giving ceremony had taken place, results were set in stone. That the way it looked like the story would end over a decade ago until one of the dodgiest people in motorsport, Bernie Ecclestone, slipped a new piece of information. While speaking to F1 Insider in March this year, F1 owner Ecclestone said he and the FIA president Max Mosley knew about the situation during the 2008 season. We decided not to do anything for now. Ecclestone said, we wanted to protect the sport and save it from a huge scandal. That's why I used angelic tongue to persuade my former driver Nelson Piquet to keep calm for the time. Back then, there was a rule that a World Championship classification after the FIA award ceremony at the end of the year was untouchable, so Hamilton was presented with the trophy and everything was fine. We had enough information in time to investigate the matter according to the statutes. We should have cancelled the race in Singapore under these conditions. That means it would never have happened for the championship standings, and then Felipe Massa would have become the world champion, not Lewis Hamilton. The statement from Bernie Ecclestone that the Massas' case is built on, initially it was thought that he would try to overturn the result of the 2008 Drivers' Championship based on Bernie's comments. You can understand why he feels he was cheated out of that championship after months of legal deliberation, though it seems like that isn't the route he will be taking. Instead, he's just going to sue the FIA in Formula One for the money he would have been paid if he won the championship on Thursday night. Rauter stated that lawyers from former Ferrari driver Felipe Massa had started legal action against Formula One bosses and the governing FIA, seeking substantial damages resulting from an alleged conspiracy that denied him the 2008 championship. A former 8-page letter before the claim, which Reuters has seen, was sent to Formula One Chief of Executives Stefano Domenicali and Paris-based FIA President Mohammed Ben Salem on August 15th. It was a required formal legal notice before court proceedings. London-based Enio Law said that Brazilian Massa had been the victim of a conspiracy by the FIA and Formula One management. It said that Massa had lost tens of millions of euros in lost earnings and bonuses because of another driver's planned crash at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, which was allegedly covered up until it became a scandal in 2009. But what's according to the letter about Mr. Massa? According to the letter, Mr. Massa should have been the 2008 Drivers' Championship, but F1 and FIA cheated him out of the title by ignoring the wrongdoing. Mr. Massa isn't sure how much he's lost yet, but he thinks it's more than tens of millions of euros. This amount is not enough to make up for the moral and social damage done to Mr. Massa. Massa isn't trying to change the result of the 2008 championship. His letter did ask for recognition that, if not for those illegal acts, he would have won the 2008 championship. But that's a small step away from asking to win the championship itself. He isn't asking F1 or the FIA to take the trophy out of Lewis's house and FedEx it to him. Presumably, the legalities of doing that are far too complicated to make happen. He just wants the money. He couldn't remember saying the key quotes credited to him. To be honest, I don't remember any of this. as said by the British man who was replaced as F1 boss in 2017 when the US company Liberty Media took over as the commercial rights holder. I don't remember giving the interview for sure. It's probably too late for Bernie to play dumb at this point. I'm not a lawyer, so I won't say if NASA has any chance of winning this case, but if he does, it will turn Crashgate into a whole new beast. It won't just be one race tainted by scandal, it will be the whole championship. The funny thing is that the whole thing happened to try and save Fernando Alonso's 2 world championships in the past 2007. He started to lose his form, and 2008 was even worse. All this happened while the American investment banks destroyed themselves with shady mortgage deals, which caused a global financial crisis. Recently reported the team boss Flavio Briatore told his senior staff at the time that the parent company had informed him that, unless they could win a race in the remainder of this season, they would likely be pulling out for 2009. For most of the season, that has seemed almost impossible, even in Fernando Alonso's hands. The car was nowhere near a front-runner. But, more importantly, the loss of their jobs in the middle of one of the worst job markets in living memory shows that the Singapore Grand Prix deferred with 4 races left in the season. It was getting to now or never time. Still, unfortunately for the team, a new fuel compound and good development had got them into the mix for podiums in both FB2 and FB3. Alonso went slightly faster than Lewis Hamilton's McLaren and the Ferraris. The team could be saved if you get a good qualifying result. Alonso may not have known it at the time, but boss Flavio Briatore didn't think it was funny, but he did agree that this was the best way to win the race for Alonso and save the team. The team decided turn 17 was the best place to do it, and Piquet Jr. was told about the plan. However, the pits were closed after the safety car came out. Alonso was in the back of a group of drivers who all needed to stop at the pits to get new tires and gas. Everyone rushed into the pits when the safety car came out, and Alonso ended up in last place. 5th, the 4 cars before him hadn't stopped yet or needed a drive-through penalty for mistakes at pit stops. Alonso drove on to an easy win, not knowing that the Renault pit wall had set everything up to make it happen. He also probably didn't know that he had just saved the team. So, these vast bombshells let Alonso win easily. What do you think about it? Should NASA pay them back? Share your views in the comments and subscribe to the channel to watch what's even juicier coming next in the F1 season.